Okay, so I guess everybody saw the video. Okay, am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think some people might have studied C, and for some people, it's the first time that they are hearing about it, or they have been introduced for the first time. So although before we start, so the basic idea is that most of the programming that we see, whether it's operating system like Windows, Linux, Mac OS, or or let's say the databases, like where like companies use them to store and manage their data and all that, like SQL, these things. Most of this are built on C, the language C. Now C, it's actually an old language. Okay, so C was developed somewhere around 1969 and 1972, and it was derived from there was another language called B, which is known as Basic Combined Programming Language, from which it was in 19 after 1960s some more advancement was done, and then the language came, that was C. Also, at the same time, there was an operating system being developed for future computers, and it is still used. Many programmers use that. It is Unix. Unix is like, I think it's an open source operating system. Like, it's not like Windows. Like Windows, you have to buy the license, but I think Unix is open source. Anyone can use it for free. Okay, so Unix was mostly written in C language only. Okay, so the and after not only Unix, later we saw that the modern day languages or scripts like Java, HTML, and Python, which are currently in trending, the trending languages needed, they are also like they are also advancements of C only. They all have their roots in C language. Okay, so let's say you want to learn Python, you want to learn Java. So although C sound seems like it's very old now, it's not really useful, but even today, it's the basic of most of the computer programs that we see. Mostly C is used for multimedia things, or for operating system. Okay, so C still has its relevance, and for like next 10-20 years it is still going to be relevant. And also, if you want to learn further programs, so learning C will help with that. And since we have it in our course, so we will have to learn anyway. Okay, so let's start. So what does it says? Like C, uh, it has algebraic expressions. For example, in life we do if, else, for, while, why, these things. So C also has, okay, okay, well, I don't know what is how that. Okay, so C also has that this kind of functionalities that user can have some such functions which can compare logically, which can check things, and which can do certain operations for the user. For example, if you want to check if someone is eligible to vote, you are going to write a program that says if this person is less than 18, they cannot vote. If they are else, they can vote if they are more than 18. Okay, so this kind of things are useful there. So the next thing, so basically what are we going to learn in C is that one of the thing is that variables. Now variables are, they are like we declare variables to store like anything, like a different kind of variables store different things. For example, if you declare a variable of integer type, you can use that variable to store value of any integer, value of an integer. If you use a character type, you can store a character like abcd, or any hyphen, comma, whatever there is. So that is what is used, the variables are used for that. Okay, in C or in any language actually. Okay, so next we will just come here. Okay, so first we will go through a little bit about features of C. Okay, 1 second please. Okay, so first thing, the first feature that we are going to talk about is Like, yeah, like I told you, it is used in development of most of the operating systems and other systems as well, like other programming. C is used there. Okay. And another thing is, C, it's written in a very user friendly language. Like, if you learn little bit, you can understand when you read a program, okay, what we are trying to achieve here. It's like, it's like very much written in a normal English script only. With a little bit of practice and some time, you can also see and check, like, okay, this is what this program is trying to say or what it is trying to do. Okay. So next thing is modularity. Now this is an important thing, because now the like you have a big program. Okay. But that one big program can be broken down in many pieces, and each of the individual pieces can function on their own without interacting with the other pieces. Okay. So if you want if you want to do have a lot of features in a program, if you want to use a program for lots of different kind of outputs or operations, you can just divide it in separate pieces, and each piece can function without the other one. Okay. So this is an interesting thing, and that's why, because of that only, C is very portable. You can use it in a lot of different applications, in a lot of different machinery. Okay. So next thing is, run C program on any platform. Okay. So C, like I told you, it's very portable, very versatile. Like, C is in your computer, C is in your mobile, it's in, like, in most of the electronic devices which have computational power. C is there if they are a little bit advanced. Okay. And another thing is, uh, C has some some strength, that C is run on compiler. Now I will tell you what is a compiler. In a compiler, whatever the program you feed there, it executes all of it at once. Okay. And there is another kind of thing that is called interpreter. In an interpreter, if you input a program, it will read that program line by line, line by line, line by line, and execute line by line, line by line, line by line. So that takes more time actually. Okay. But C is based on compiler. So in a compiler, once you, and what is a compiler? Whatever program you have written, now you want to do something with it. So a compiler compiles the entire program, and it will process that code and then give you the result, the desired result that you want. So that is what the compiler does. It basically takes the code, puts it into a software, and that software operates on that code. Whatever that code wants to do, it will do, and the result you can get. Okay. So C is run on compiler. So compiler, therefore it has some it's little bit sturdier than Java and other things, because now you can compile the whole program at once. Okay. Rather than going line by line, line by line, line by line. Okay. So next thing. Okay. So one second. Okay, so that is one feature that I told you about. That C, they work on compilers. Okay, so they are highly efficient, because they are compiled like all at once. Okay. So next is another important characteristic of C is that programs are highly portable, even more so than with other high-level languages. The reason for this is that C relegates most computer-dependent features to its library function. Thus, every version of C is accompanied by its own set of library functions. Okay, now this is an important thing, that this is the important feature that came with C. So C basically has a very interesting thing. Like, by default, it has many functions. For now, what does functions do? Suppose you want to do addition, you want to do a plus b, or anything, a multiplied b, a divided by b. Okay. So you will just write a whole program, you will input a b c d and all that. Okay. And then you will go with a one by one, you will do add it. But C has some predefined functions. Those functions, now they are defined in a way that, okay, you want to use a maths function, that function will calculate the thing for you, the whatever you want to do, that function will do that for you. So one thing is, C has a lots of lot of those predefined function by itself only. So you can use it on a lot different kind of platforms. Okay. Another feature they are providing is that you can also create your own function. You can define a function, something you want to do, any kind of activity. You can create that, store that in the library, and later you can use that in any program. If you need that function, if you need that kind of operation in any program, you can just link that, the function you created and you have stored in the library, and you can link that. And we will in time we will actually learn how to create user defined functions, how to link it and all that. Okay, so you can link that and use that. So this gives us a lot of flexibility. First, it saves time. The code is neater, cleaner, because there are already functions defined for certain kind of activities that we want to do, for which if we wanted to do it, we would have needed longer codes and more description and all that, but it is already defined there in different functions. Okay. Okay, and another thing is that uh, okay, so now we come to the composition of a C program. Okay, so I'll just show you here in this video. It's actually shown nicely. Okay, so this, I think, yeah. Okay, so first thing is documentation. So before any program starts, okay, now you want to have a title, or maybe you want to have the description of what the program is and who made it, when it was made, and all that. Okay, and if there is any special feature about the program, you can also write it in between that. So this is called the documentation section. They are also known as comments. Okay, they help. Suppose that you are a programmer, okay, and there is someone sitting beside you, and if you have used this thing like comments with different lines, okay, that will help that another person understand, okay, this line is doing this. Okay, so it is about usability, it is about understandability of the program, and also it gives you a basic idea, okay, what the program is about. Like this, for example, you see file name hello world.c, author Rashmi, someone named Rashmi made it on this date. And the program, what is it does, it displays an output that says hello world. That's all it does. And also they have mentioned that no input is needed in this case. The program requires no user interference. You can just run and you will get the output. Okay, so this stays on the top of the program. And afterwards comes, okay, after document, this is the first layer, it stays on top. And actually I will tell you one thing, you use this kind of braces if you are trying to write something in multiple lines. Otherwise you simply use two of this, what is this called, if someone can please name it, this one, this backslash, I think. So if you are using writing just one line comment, okay, then you just need to use two of this, and this star and all the, and the second closing one is not needed there. Okay, so next we have the second part of a program. We'll come to that. Okay, now we come to the link section. Now this is important. Without this, your program will never run. Now what is this? I just told you that C has a library. In that library, different functions are stored. Okay, so whatever you want to do in your program, you have to tell the program that what functions you want to use. Okay, so like this is one of the most basic function that you need in C. It is hash include stdio.h, so that means that you want to write a program, it will take certain input and give any output. Okay, so this is that. In this, those those library functions are stored. So before you start, you have to mention this so that your program knows that what we are trying to do, what we are trying to achieve, and what is next. Okay, so and so this is called the link section. Okay, this is the second layer. After the documentation, this comes, and this is actually from where the coding actually starts. Okay, that documentation, it was basically comment, it has no relevance to the program, but yeah, it helps any user understand that what is happening. Next, we have the definition section. Now, what is definition section? Suppose that in your program, there is something which whose value is not supposed to change at any point. For example, you are writing a program and there you want to calculate circumference of a circle or area of a circle, or let's say volume of a sphere. Okay, so now in that program you want pi to be exactly 3.14. You don't want that value to change, because in when you are doing a program, values can change due to mistakes made by us. Sometimes values can change, okay, or due to the syntax, the way the syntax is written. So we have to understand that if we want something to be absolutely constant all the time, we can just define it. Now this also goes in the link section, and this is the format, that is hash define pi. Now pi is an integer 3.14. It also goes where? It goes in the link section only, like below that hash include stdio.h. Okay, so this is the definition. So so far we have been done documentation section, then comes the link section. In the link section, this is in the it's a subsection of link section, that is definition section. Okay, next is okay, global declaration and local declaration. Now what is this? I'll tell you. We when we started, we mentioned variables. Now variables are basically uh, they are entities used to store values, certain values. Whether you want to store, let's say you want to store two values of like integer, two numbers. Okay, yeah, for example, you want to store the radius of a circle, or let's you want to store the sides of a square, or you want to store the sides of a rectangle, anything, or you want to store abcd, whatever you want to store. For that, what you need is variables. Now those variables, they are used to store those values. Now the variables are declared in two ways. One is local variable, another is global variable. Local variable is like it has a certain scope, you cannot use it in throughout the whole program. It is it has some foundations. Where you have declared, you can only use it in that part. But a global variable, if you define it outside the main, I think like that we will come to another thing is main section. So if you define it outside that, then that variable can be used throughout the program. For example, let's say you have a variable, let's say it's a radius of a circle. Okay, now in your program, you have three different parts in which you are trying to calculate for three different calculate circumference or an area for three different circles. Now what you are going to do is you can either write one by one in all three the formula for calculating the circumference and area, or you can declare a global function outside the program, so that that can be used for all three of them. Okay, so this is what a global function, sorry, global variable means. You can also declare global functions. They both function in the same way. If you are using a function in the global space, then the function can be used throughout the program anywhere. If you are using a variable, it can be used in the same manner. Okay, so next we have, okay, I will also check if there are any messages slash. Okay, so next after this comes, okay, now here, see, a function is defined. If this function is inside the main, if this function is declared inside the main, or this integer is declared inside the main, that will be a local variable. If it is declared outside, it is going to be a global variable. Okay, we will understand more better when we come to the next part. Okay, so now the main function comes. Now the body of the program is totally inside the main function. Okay, so this is also a predefined function. Now this function basically does what? It tells the compiler the user have written a program and now we have to execute it. That is the only function it basically has. Okay, another thing this does is, if you want to return a value at the end of the program, for that also this main function is used. Okay, we will understand what that is. In the main functions come two part. First is the declaration part, that is declaring the variables or declaring the functions, and the second is the execution part. So if you look at the screen here, whatever is going to happen inside the program, that is going to be go happen inside there. So this is the execution part. From this brace to this brace, whatever is inside that brace, that is the execution part. And declaration part, this is a declaration part. Int a equal to 10, we declared an integer, and that integer is named as a, and we have given a value 10 to the integer. Okay, so this part is the declaration part, and this whole is the execution part. Okay, so the main function does what? It keeps everything, the whole body of the program together. Okay, that's what it does. Also, okay, now next part we come first. Now there is another thing, it's called sub program section. So I will tell you where it is. It's basically mostly like when people try to write a function, they write it outside the main. Okay, most of the times I have seen that. So this is called sub program section, because it's not really inside the main, but it is part of the program. Okay, and we will see how that functions just in a program here. This is a sample C program. Okay, now see, first of all we start with the documentation section. So since it's a one line comment, two backslash are used here. Okay, this is a one line comment, two backslash is used. Okay, so you can write it like this. Now this is a multi-line comment, so now the format is different here. You have to put one backslash star, then you have to end it with star and backslash. Okay, once that is done, now comes the linking part, the link section, where we are linking the libraries we need for the program. Okay, so here we have used two libraries. The what are the functionality of the libraries you will learn with time. Okay, for now just two libraries we have used here. Then comes the definition section. Now there is a here we have defined a constant, that is define num equals to 20. Okay, now this is it is also in the link section only. Just after the link section it comes. Then comes global declaration section. You have to declare a function. If you want to use a function, you have to declare it first. So here the function is declared outside main, so it is a globally declared function. Okay, so next we come to the next part of the program. Okay, so now comes the main section. Okay, so this is the main void main. I will just in a moment I will say what does that means. So main section, in this you have now declared your integers int a b. Okay, clear screen. What it does, it if you your compiler was using any resource, well, like, for example you were running any other program beforehand, it will just clear that and the memory will be emptied, so that that memory can be used for your new program. Okay, so you declared here int a equal to this much, int b this. Now you gave a value to a equal to 10. Print f. Now this is a standard output syntax. When you want to get any kind of output, you have to start with this printf bracket, the double comma, I think. Okay, or what it is called. And the value of a is after this there is a dot to end this, sorry, the comma to end this sentence. And then when you write a here, it will take this value a equal to 10, because the sentence is ended here, and this comma means that the sentence is done. And another thing, this percentage d means before you want to get output for any kind of things, you have to mention this. Okay, so you mention this and then you use a. So now here the function returns func. Okay, now there is a, now the main is, and main has ended here, the program has ended here. See, the braces has closed here. Okay, curly bracket closes here. But outside this bracket, now this is the subsection area. The program is defined here. Okay, okay, someone is saying repeat. Which part do you want to repeat? So I will I think they are asking to repeat, so I will just come to this part. from here only. You declared two variables, that is a and b of type integer. That means they are going to store integers, numbers, -1, +1, 2, 3, 4, anything. Okay, so you declared two integers. Next thing what you did, you want an output that says the value of a is how much, this value, whatever value you have given to a. So now how do you write that? Printf bracket, then you use this double comma, the value of a is, and this is mandatory in C when you want output for any kind of variables. Okay, so before writing that variable you have to write this, then you close this part. Okay, after closing, then you write a here, close the bracket, and then you end the sentence with a semicolon. Now what this is going to do is, please do not do that. Okay, printf. Now printf, that's what I'm telling you. If you want to get any kind of output, if you want your program to give you any kind of output when it is executed, you have to use this format, printf. Okay, so when you use this, when the program runs, you will see a screen that says the value of a is this, whatever value is put here, 10. Now the value of a is put here 10, so you will see here the value of a is 10. So when you want to show some output, when you want to see some output after execution, for that you have to use this. Whatever the output you want, you have to put it inside this, so that you can see that output. Okay, that's what basically printf does. So first line, when it will be executed, it will write is the value of a is a when your program runs. After that you will see this. Second line is the function returns func. Now what is func? Func is basically, it's a function that they have defined here outside the program, that is return num. Now see, in the beginning you defined a number, and you put the value equal 20. Okay, has defined num is in the name of that variable. Okay, and value of that variable is 20. Okay, that is the value of. So what your function will basically do is, this function, when it is called, when you are using this function, it is supposed to do what? Return the value of num. So basically here you are supposed to see 20, because that's what the function is basically doing, return num is equal to 20. So the second line which you will see is the function returns 20. That's what it's going to do. Okay, and then your program ends with this is I will just, in a while I will explain what this is used for. Okay, or if someone else can, they can also at the end of the session. Okay, so next, so this is a sample program, where a very basic program. Okay, so yeah, now see, there is a program here. It starts with all the we just need hash include stdio.h. We don't want to do anything operation here, we just want to uh, show an output. Okay, and please remove this, okay, from the screen. Whoever has done this, please remove it. Can you please remove it, because I do not know how to do that. Whatever you have written on the screen, please remove it. Okay, you are not able to remove it, so make sure next time you check it out first before executing something. Okay, otherwise your program may become some kind of viral program, and that may cause you harm only. Okay, anyways, so this is a simple program that is supposed to do what? Printf, hi, this is my first program, C program. So basically it will only show you an output that is, hi, this is my first C program. You will see a black screen, or depending upon the compiler you are using, different colors of screen, and on that screen you will just see this one line that says, hi, this is my first C program. Okay, now I will tell you what this get ch is used for. I just remembered. What happens is, if you don't use it, your output will come for 1 second and it will go away. Okay, it will just, screen will just close. So what it does, it retains the output, whatever the output of the program is, whatever after the execution, whatever is there. So once you use this line that you have written, hi, this is my first C program, that black screen or blue screen on which it is written, that will stay there. You can keep it as long as you want, as long as you want to do anything. Okay, so for that we use this. Otherwise, if you don't use this, that screen will just open and close, just open and close in within less than 1 second. Okay, so that's why we use this get ch, so that after we are done executing the program, our output or whatever the program has done, it stays on the screen. Okay. And yeah, to a lot of people, maybe they are thinking they are not able to understand anything at all right now, or maybe they are understanding little bit, but trust me, it's very easy, very simple. In 2 3 5 sessions, you will actually have a basic idea that how to write a program, what does what. Okay, so it's not really that difficult. Do not stress. We all start like this. I also don't know much, but I have also, when I went to my first computer science class, I also felt what is going on the screen. Okay, maybe you people are understanding all of it. That is also possible. That maybe you are understanding 100%, and that is a very good thing if so. But if you are not able to understand something, maybe I'm not able to explain, then it's totally fine. In 1 2 sessions, you will understand everything slowly. Okay. So we saw 2 sample programs. Now we will see a program. I told you, no, that we can use programs to do anything. For example, now we are going to check a program that checks we are going to use a program that checks if a person is eligible to vote or not. Okay. Now this is an interesting thing. You can do it by your hand, or you can just give the input to the computer for like data for 100 people, and the computer will do it for you. It will just tell you, and it will save you some time. So now the program starts with the link section, that is the library file that is needed here, hash include stdio.h, and we do not need any kind of constants or any kind of integers, extra integers that needs to be the same throughout the program. So we are not using any other definition section. We just start the program with int main. Okay, so int num, we declared a number. We declared a number here, a variable here, and the variable is called num. Okay, and the variable is of type what? Int means integer. That means it is going to store an integer. Next, we want to flash this on our screen. Enter your age. Like we want, when the program is executed, we want the output that says enter your age. For that, I told you the format is printf, then bracket, then we use this. Okay, what is this called? Is it called double comma or apostrophe? Sorry. Okay, so apostrophe, we use this, then we write our text character whatever we want, then we close it again, we using the apostrophe, bracket close. And remember, whenever you are writing an like you want an output or input, you are using the syntax, always you have to, or you are declaring a variable, declaring a function, you have to close it with a semicolon. This because once you start to learn programming, a part will be error checking. Okay, for example, in your program everything you have done is right. Okay, but you make one small mistake, you missed one semicolon. For that you may see 10 12 errors. So you have to be a little bit careful, and you will be careful in time. Okay, another thing which I will tell you is, which a lot of people, I also used to make that mistake, the C language is case sensitive. What is case sensitive? You say, let's say you have declared here num, all the alphabets here on the name of this variable, all of them are small letter. Okay, now here if you write capital N small num, now it won't recognize what you are trying to say here. That means it is case sensitive. If you are using whatever name you have used once, you have to use that same format for the entire program. You cannot write num in capital here, and then in shorthand here, or in shorthand here, then in capital here, or let's say M is capital. In that case, your program will not run. So whatever you have declared, that has to be the same for the entire program. Okay, so you have to understand this. C is a case sensitive language. Many languages do not have this restriction these days. Lots of languages are much easier. Okay, and they do not have these things, and they are like they are more like you do not see these codes there. You will see more like sentences. You write sentences and it will do, because the compiler already is much more advanced. Okay, but for making important programs and all that, you need something that is sturdy, that is solidly code backed. Okay, anyways, so now coming back to our program, what the first line does, it will print a sentence, enter your age. Then now comes this is another now this is used to take input. If you want to take input, you need this. Okay, this is the format to take input. So how you take input? Scan f bracket, and for all the input or output you need to use this percentage d. After this, this will be written in this format, then a comma. Okay, and after this comma, and num. Now what does this and means? That and means that you want to take an input, and that input is supposed to be stored at the address of num. Now I will explain what that means. Suppose you are your name is anything. Okay, okay, let's say we take just one name, random name from here. There is Divya here. Let's say you want to store something to at Divya's place. Okay, now if you just say that please go and put this in Divya's house, you will not know where to put it because you do not know where Divya lives. Okay, so you will have to know her address. Okay, this is her house, so we have to send this, or we have to store this at this address. Okay, so this and means that the input we are taking now, that is supposed to be stored in the address where num stays. Now address means everything in a program, like variable, function, they are all stored in different defined addresses. Okay, all of them have their own address in the memory slots. Like in the memory, in the storage, they have address in terms of they are all designated in numbers. Okay, zeros and one and all that. So basically and num means that we want to take an input that is supposed to be stored uh, in the address of num. Okay, now comes our if else statement. If bracket num is less than 18, that is num is what the variable we have used to take input for different age of people. If num is less than 18, if the age of that person is less than 18, then you are supposed to print this statement: printf, you are not eligible for voting. Okay, else, otherwise, if someone is greater than 18, that means they can vote. So else, if this condition is not satisfied, the program will go to else. Okay, and then else part will run. Else part says what? It says print a line that says you can vote. Okay, return 0. That means we do not want any kind of after the program ends, we don't want it to return any number. Now this can be used to has a particular use case, and after a few programming sessions you will know what it is used for. Sometimes it's used for logical arguments. For example, you want to say if this is true, return 1. If this is false, return 0. So now what happens is, if what you have done, if what the program has executed, if that is actually true, it will say return 1. Okay, if it is not true, it will say return 0. Okay, so next is, so this is a basic program that teaches you how to vote. Okay, now this is another program that teaches you how to add two variables. Okay, so first of all, a hash include, that this is the library file, this is mandatory in all program. Use the comment or not, that's up to you. This has no technical relevance, but it has some strategic relevance, as in it enhances the understandability of the program for someone who is new. Or if you are writing a big program, it's useful there also, because you may not remember like which part does what all the time if it is a very long program. So using this helps there. Okay, so now here you can see void main. It does not says int main. Void is used when we don't want to return, when we don't want the program to return any value at the end of the program, or at anywhere in the program. Void means 0, simply nothing. Okay, so here we are using void main, and this is used when we don't want to return anything. When we use int main, that means at the end of the program is going to return in a value of what type? Of integer type. Okay, but here we don't want it. Now this part starts the execution part. Here first we declare three variables: int, a, b, c. Three different variables of type what? Of integer type. They will store what? They will store integers. Then we use clr scr. I told you what it does. It basically cleans the memory. If some older program is using your compiler memory, it will just close that. It will end that process, and it will clean that memory. Okay, that is what it does, so that your program has enough memory to run and execute smoothly. Next, print f, enter the value of a. Okay, so this is what? This is an output statement. What it will output? It will output enter the value of a. that is a line that you will see on the screen. Next, scanf. Now after this line, you want to input from the user, the person who is using the program or who's using the computer. So that person, they will write this is written scanf. Now this is used for input, taking input. Scanf, the format is this always, and you always use and for taking inputs. Okay, that means you want to take an input at, and which is going to be stored at the location of A. Okay. So this is the format for taking input. Next, second line is printf, enter the value of B. So now it will print a line that says enter the value of B. Then you will be prompted to provide an input for B, whatever, let's say B is 7, 8, 10, anything. Okay. Next, you declare that C is equal to A plus B. Okay. You defined it here that C is equal to A plus B. Now it will say printf, the sum of A and B is C. This sentence ends here. You see, the sentence is ending here. Okay. And before that, there is going to be a backslash here. Sorry, a front slash here. I think it's not visible because of this drawing that someone has made. There's going to be a front slash here and N. Now, what this front slash does is, before ending a sentence, if you are using this front slash end, it will just make sure the program's the output skips a line, and whatever comes in the second line. Because if you don't use this after this lines, then always what will happen is all the sentences, all the outputs are going to be in one line. So you do not want that that confusion to happen. So that's why this is used /n. This is used for new line. That means once this line is printed, okay, once we are done with this line, it should go to next line. It should go down, and after that this line should print. Okay, so this is what that is going to do. So the sum of A and B is C equal, this will print, and then the value that is calculated here, we defined C is equal to A plus B. Now it has got the value of A here, got the value of B here. So here it's calculated as C is equal to this much. Okay, so now we are taking output of like how much is C, that is C is mentioned here. And I told you, for any output or input, before you do that, you have to mention this. Before this comma, you have to mention this percentage D, and then comma, then whatever that variable is. And note that this /n never affects this sentence. Okay, you will never see this in this /n in the sentence if you do it right. That is, the format is always use it before the closing okay, sorry, I think I again forgot the what it is called. Someone just said a little while ago. Apostrophe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Always the format is always use this /n before the closing, or you can also start use it here also, but it has to be on either side. There has to be a closing apostrophe. Okay, then it will not affect your sentence. Then it won't be counted as part of this. In this case, what will happen here is it will print a line. The sum of A and B is C equal to how much? Equal to the value that is calculated here. Okay, and if you do it wrong, for example, you used /n here, okay, then it will print a sentence, the sum of A and B is called C equal to /n, then whatever the value of C is calculated here, that will be there. So we don't want this kind of things to happen. So always remember /n for new line, and you need to use just before or after a like if you are using this side, if you want a new line from here, if you wanted to skip a line from here, you will use it on this side. If you want to skip a line after this line is executed, this sentence is done, then you will use a /n here. Okay, then we use the get ch function. That is, it retains the output screen, so that the screen does not comes and goes away in a flash. Okay, so we use this and then we close the program is done. Also note, whenever you write a program, there may be many parts in the program. The number of opening braces is always going to be equal to number of closing braces. Like there is one opening brace here, one closing brace here. If you are writing a long program or a program has multiple parts, okay, sometimes many people face this error like maybe they have used 3 opening braces, but they have only closed 2 of them. The program always needs to be closed in a closed way for the program to function and execute. Otherwise you will get error and your program will not compile. Then you will have to manually check it. The system will actually show you where the error is. You can check it and you can rectify it. Okay, so after this, okay, yeah, we are going to see the output. Yeah, this is going to give this output. See, enter the value of a. This is the first line. Okay, after that, because we use the /n here, it skipped the line, and the value of a is where the input is taken below here it's taken here. Okay, now next, second line is enter the value of b. Enter the value of b, again /n, and then it is closed. Then we take the input for b. Okay, so b is 40. It took that. Next, in third sentence, after that we have declared, we have defined c is equal to a plus b. Then in third statement we are saying the sum of a and b is c equal to percentage d, and then we want the statement to skip a line after this semicolon is done. So we are using the same forward. Before apostrophe we use a /n, and remember, it always has to be near the apostrophe. So but we also need to use this percentage d, because we want to use this as output. So we are using it before this, because format for this is it also has to be before the apostrophe. Okay, so we wrote this here, percentage d and then c. So you will receive this output. The sum of a and b is c equal to 140. So that means until this equal to, it is a sentence. It is a sentence that we are going to output. Okay, but after that, once this comes, then we are the output is showing that an integer that it has calculated here. Okay, until here it's a sentence. Whatever you want to say, whatever you have, if you have said my name is abcd, then it will print my name is abcd. But here it will only print what has been calculated here. Okay, so the difference is, in this part anything you write, that's going to be the ditto of that. But in this part, when you are showing an output for some input you have taken, then it will show the exact output that it is supposed to show. Okay, so okay, so now, so far, if anyone wants to say something or ask something, anything, or give their feedback. Okay, I received a really good feedback. That's very nice to read actually. Okay, so far, anything, anyone? You can turn on your mic and speak if anyone wants to say anything. We will do this tomorrow, I think, the next parts. Any questions or any feedback, anything you want to discuss? You can turn your mic on and speak if anyone wants to share anything. Okay, thank you, Genome. Thank you, Genome, very much. Okay, if no one has anything to say, then I think I will just end this session. Okay, someone else said something also. No, I basically, the idea is that once we end our class, we should take few minutes, 5-10 minutes, and we should discuss things among each other. Okay, because although people will say everyone understood, some people may not have understood something. And an interesting thing is, when you explain something to someone, then a point comes where you yourself understand that thing better than you used to understand it before. Therefore, I want, if we can interact for like 2-3 minutes and say something, anything. Okay, so if no one has anything to say, I will just end the session now. And remember, I have also made a YouTube channel for us only. Okay, there I'm going to upload our sessions, so that if anyone missed, if any of your friends missed, they cannot join. And if they wish to join, it's totally up to you guys, right? Because I do not have any extra benefit, you do not have any but we can learn things together. That's the idea behind this. So this session is going to be uploaded on YouTube From there also someone can browse if they want, or if they want to understand something again, they can go there. And if they have any questions, please note down your questions. You can post it on WhatsApp group, on anywhere, and tomorrow before the session starts your question will be answered. And also don't worry anyone, all these things will get clear and you will all learn better with time. Okay, thank you. I will just end the session now. Thank you all for joining. Good
Thanks
night.
a lot, brother.
Yeah, same to you, man. Okay.